Welcome back. Next month, the Lake George Dinner Theater and Right Stage Productions will team up for a run of All My Sons at the Wood Theater in Glens Falls. Here to tell us more about it and give us details on the show is the Lake George Dinner Theater's Terry Rabine and Neil Akins, who is the star of the show. Welcome to Look News,
the star.
Gentlemen.
There you go.
Your words.
Well, hey, we're trying to sell it here.
He's very good. He's very good.
First of all, tell me about this partnership. Terry, you're representing the Lake George Dinner Theater. Neil, Right Stage Productions. Talk to me about working together.
Well, actually, Terry and I have worked together since 1973, when we were both working at the Towers Hall Playhouse in Lake George with David Eastwood and Vicki Eastwood. And we were together at that season, and then Darius directed me in several shows. We've acted together in shows at the Lake George Dinner Theater, so we really have a long time collaboration. Yeah.
Talk to me about the show. Why All My Sons? Why did you decide this was the one that you wanted to work on together?
We just, well, Neil was thinking about producing this a few years ago, and then I just sort of came back to him this summer and said, I'd really like to direct you in something more dramatic, because we typically do more comedies and stuff at the dinner theater. And I said, I think you'd make a terrific Joe Keller, and I love All My Sons. And I then found out that this was a show that Neil had wanted to produce through Right Stage Productions. So we kind of made a deal of it right there, and we invited people that we knew in the area who were actors that we wanted to work with, and we invited them to be a part of the production, and that's really how it got started.
Yeah. And Neil, if folks aren't familiar with the show, give us a little bit of a background into it.
Well, it's one of Arthur Miller's earliest dramas.
Yep.
It won the Drama Critics Award in 1947 when it was done. It beat out The Iceman Cometh in that particular year. Anyway, it's a story set in 1947. It's post-World War II. It's a story of a gentleman and his partner who were in the business of producing cylinder heads for the Army Air Force, and there came a time when the production produced faulty cylinder heads, and he allowed them to be shipped out anyway, knowing that they were faulty. He has two sons. One is missing from the war. It's possible that he was a result of one of the failures of that engine. So there's all of that issue going on with the father, who I play, Joe Keller, and his surviving son, Chris, who is has a hint that something like that went on during that time, but doesn't know for sure. And it's all about his relationship with his sons and his need to kind of keep up this facade that everything is okay when he knows that everything isn't okay. I look at Joe Keller as being kind of an early rendition of Willy Loman from Death of a Salesman.
Which came 2 years later. He wrote Death of a Salesman right after he wrote this.
Okay.
So he was really he had Willy in his mind, I think, as he was writing this. And one of the things about this play that make it so great is that literally everyone thinks this is a great play. It's been done many, many times. It won, the awards. It's a part of the literary. It's one of the literary icons, in American theater, and we thought that. And part of the reason for that, I think, is because the message of the play, the theme of the play, is still so poignant 70 years later. It still works, because what Joe was forced to deal with is really where his responsibility lies. He's creating these parts for airplanes that crash. He does something he should not have done in order to protect his family and to protect the business. And of course, the theme that comes out at the end of the play is his son says, "But your responsibility is to something much larger than just your family. You're responsible to everyone." And I think that message is still something that we're seeing in the papers every day.
Yeah, and you were saying that a lot of the shows that you do are comedy.
Yeah.
Obviously, that caters to the summer market when folks are coming up to Lake George. Is it nice to have this play where you're really sinking your teeth into some really good stuff?
Well, that's one of the things that Terry and I had said to each other. We said, in our off season, let's do something that we really want to do. Yeah. Just ourselves, and regardless of what kind of appeal it might have, to get into hone our craft and to work with people that we are interested in having developed their skills as actors and so forth, and to do a show that's not often done. Because it's it's a little heavy. It's a drama as opposed to a musical, and it's not as done as often as those shows are.
Yeah.
As we often say when we have folks that come on from different theater groups across the North Country portion of our viewing area, the Wood Theater is a great place to see a play. Give me some of the details happening at the Wood Theater, the dates and everything.
Friday and Saturday, March 8th and 9th at 7:30 curtain, and then Sunday, March 10th at 2 p.m. curtain. Oh boy, the box office numbers.
874-0800, or go online at woodtheater.org.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having us, David.
Good luck with the show.
Thanks.
And don't worry about getting any of those numbers. If you haven't been able to reach for a pen, you can head to our website. It's looktvonline.com. We have posted all the details right there for you. It's also the place where you can see our conversation for a second time.